I'd like to create two different dash numbers for this idle speed needle and the high speed needle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create parameters here that are different. We see that the tip length is different. We see that the thread length is different. The diameter is the same, the threads are the same. And if you notice that there is a top that's separate from the high-speed needle, we're going to look for a press fit between those two materials, and we're going to calculate what that hole needs to be in that top. So you need to make those two different pieces, and they also have two different diameters, so we'll make them an eye part as well. An eye part essentially uses different parameters that you put in, and you can change those as you add those over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an eye part of this part, and if I have to set my parameters. So if I go to thread and edit the feature, if I hover over this, I had named this thread length equal 0.5450, although I misspelled it. I actually went into the first of this and I named it thread length equal, and that created a parameter for me. The next thing is this revolution. If I show dimensions, I can double click on this dimension, go to the Home tab and say point length equal, and I'll double click on this dimension and I'll say to Home, and there's an equation in there, and this will be the post length equal, and the diameter is the same, the diameter of this is the same. So what we're going to do now is create an eye part, and we're going to take all these out of here. So I'm going to show you how I started out with this. So what I did was this is the member, and you can call this a high-speed needle, and here's the part number. I'm going to right click and insert a row, and I'm going to call this the idle speed needle. And I'm going to call this dash number -002. Alright, so what I want to do is the things that I saw that were different between the two parts, I'm going to add those as parameters. Post length. And if I expand thread length should be added as well. And so if I expand my table here in -1, which is a high-speed needle, the thread length is 0.45 plus 0.01, which is the thickness of the top, so it goes all the way to the end. And then the next one is 0.47, so I'm going to type in 0.47 plus 0.01. The thread length on the high-speed needle is 0.45. This one is 0.47. And the point length, the high-speed needle point length is 0.2. The idle speed needle is 0.17. And say OK. So now it's created a table up here for me, and it has two different configurations. High-speed needle is configured now, and idle speed needle is now configured. So now I have a part number with two different dash numbers. So we could call this -1 -2, or we can call it a configuration and put the part number in there.